Hello everyone. So welcome back. Today we will be going over adding decimals. Always remember when you are adding your decimal to line up your decimal point. For an example, if you have this example here, 2.6 plus 3.1. First, I'm going to set up my problem. It'll be 2.6 plus 3.1. And notice that my decimal points are lined up. Okay, so first we're going to add 6 plus 1. That's going to give us 7. And then I'm going to bring my decimal point here. And then we have 2 plus 3, and that is going to give us 5. So your final answer is 5.7. Let's try 6.8 plus 3.9. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our addition problem here. 6.8 plus 3.9. All right, so first we're going to add 8 plus 9 is 17. I'm going to write my 7, carry the 1. Then 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 3 is going to be 10. All right, and now I'm going to make sure that I bring my decimal down. So your final answer is 10.7. Let's try this example here. So let's say we have to find the sum of $5 and $3.55. First, we're going to write 5 here, and then I'm going to write my $3.55. And before I add, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my decimal now and my imaginary zeros. Now I'm going to add. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 5 again is 5. Then you bring your decimal. Decimal plus decimal is decimal. And then you have your 5 plus 3. That's going to give you 8. So your final answer is $8.55. Now, let's say that you wrote your $3.55 on top and then your $5 at the bottom. And then you added your decimal and your imaginary zeros here. You will still get the same answer. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 0 again is 5. And then your decimal point here, and then you have 3 plus 5, that's going to give you 8. So you still get the same answer if you write $5 on top or if you write the $5 at the bottom. And this works for addition. All right, let's try $5.89 and let's try $9.23. Let's find the sum of these two dollar amounts. So first I'm going to write $5.89 plus our 9.23. My decimal points are lined up. All of my numbers are here and lined up, so I can go ahead and add. So now I'm going to add 9 plus 3. That's going to give us 12. Write my 2, carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Write my 1, carry the other 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 9 is going to give me 15. Make sure I add my decimal point, and your final answer is going to be $15.12. Okay, let's try this example here. 5 plus 12.34. First, let's go ahead and set up the problem. So I have my 5, and then I have my 12 right under, but I have 12.34. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and add my decimal point and my missing zeros so I can fill in the gap. Okay, now we're going to add. So 0 plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 3 is 3. Decimal plus decimal. So to remember, add your decimal. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then you also have an imaginary 0 here. So 0 plus 1 is going to be 1. So your final answer is 17.34. Okay. And remember, if you wrote 0.34 on top and your 5 at the bottom, you will still get the same answer. Okay, so 4 plus 0 is 4, 3 plus 0 is 3, decimal plus decimal is decimal, 2 plus 5 is 7, and then you have your 1 plus 0 is going to be 1. So let's try this example here. 6.45 plus 23.24. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our problem. So I'm going to put 6.45 here, and then I'm going to put my 23 here, my decimal point, and then adding my 24 here, making sure that I line up my numbers and my decimal point. Now the only gap that we do need to fill in, the only hole that I can fill in is here. I can put my imaginary 0 here. All right, so first we're going to add 5 plus 4, it's going to give me 9, write my 9. 4 plus 2 is going to be 6, write my 6. Decimal plus decimal, add our decimal. 6 plus 3 is going to be 9. And then you have 0 plus 2, that's going to be 2. So your final answer is 29.69, okay? And let's say you wrote your 23.24 first, and then your 6.45, this is how it would look. You would still get the same answer. 4 plus 5, 9. 2 plus 4, 6. Decimal plus decimal. And then 3 plus 6 is 9. And then you have your 2 plus 0. Imaginary 0 is going to be 2. All right, let's try the next example. 9.2 plus 7.55. So let's go ahead and set up our addition problem. 9.2. And then you have your 7.55. And I do have a hole right here, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in with a 0. Now all of my numbers are lined up. My decimal point is lined up as well. So now I'm going to add. 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. Add your decimal point. And then you have 9 plus 7 is going to be 16. So your final answer is 16.75. What about 22 plus 3.26? Let's go ahead and line up our problem here. So 22, I'm going to write my 3 here, my decimal, 26 here. Okay, now let's go ahead and fill in the gaps. So I'm going to add my decimal here, my 0 here, another 0 to represent 22. It's almost as if you have $22 plus $3.26, okay? Now that my numbers are all lined up and my decimal point is lined up, so I'm going to go ahead and add. 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 2 is 2. Decimal plus decimal, just add a decimal. And then you have your 2 plus 3 is 5. And then 2 plus 0 is going to be 2. So your final answer is 25.26. Let's try this example here. 6 plus 84.32. Let's go ahead and set up our addition problem. I'm writing my 6 here. I'm going to write 84 here. 0.32. I'm going to add my decimal. I'm going to fill in the gap. And I'm also going to add, if you want, an imaginary 0 right here in front of the 6. Okay, now I'm going to add. So you have 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 3 is 3. Decimal plus decimal is decimal. And then you have 6 plus 4, that's 10. Write my 0, carry the 1. And then you have 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 8 is going to be 9. Your final answer is 90.32. Okay, remember, if I did 84.32 and your 6 at the bottom, you can definitely do the same thing. imaginary zeros, and I'm going to add. So 2 plus 0 is 2, 3 plus 0 is 3, decimal plus decimal, it's decimal, and then 4 plus 6 is going to be 10, carry the 1, 1 plus 8 is going to be 9, okay? Let's try 892.2 plus 56. Let's go ahead and set up our problem. 892.2 plus 56. Let's go ahead and add our zeros and decimal. I'm going to add my decimal here right after 56. I'm going to add imaginary 0 here. I can also add a 0 here and a 0 here. And up here, you can also add another 0 right here. An easy way to look at these addition problems when you're adding decimals is to look at it as if you're adding money. So let's say you have $892.20 plus $56. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. Decimal plus decimal, add that decimal. And then 2 plus 6 is 8. Then you have 9 plus 5 is 14. I'm going to write my 4, carry the 1. And then you have 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 0 is 9. So your final answer is 948.20. So like we said, if you had $892.20 and someone gave you 56 more dollars, the total amount of money you have will be $948.20. Let's try 18.1875 plus 4.3215. Let's go ahead and set up our problem. So we're going to do 18.1875 plus 4.3215. All of my numbers are lined up. My decimal point is lined up. And if you want, you can go ahead and add your imaginary 0 now and fill in the gap right here. So 5 plus 5 is going to be 10. I'm going to write my 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 8 plus 2 is 10. Write my 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. Write my 5. Add your decimal point. Then you have 8 plus 4, that's 12. Write my 2. Carry the 1, and then you have 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 0 is still going to be 2. So your final answer is 22.590. Let's try 8.5 plus 7.55 plus 14. Let's try this one here. All right, so we're going to continue doing what we were doing before. We're going to line up our decimal points and our numbers. I'm going to write 8.5 here plus 7.55 plus 14. All right, let's go ahead and fill in the gaps. So I'm going to add my imaginary 0 here. I'm going to add my decimal here and my imaginary zeros here. It's almost saying like you have $14. And then if you want, you can add your imaginary zeros here as well. All right. So all of my numbers are lined up. My decimal points are lined up. So I can go ahead and add. So 0 plus 5 plus 0 is going to be 5. 5 plus 5 plus 0 is going to be 10. Write my 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 plus 4 is going to be 20. Write my 0 and then carry the 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 plus 0 again is 2. And then you have 2 plus 1, that's going to give you 3. And I'm going to make sure that my decimal point is here. So your final answer is 30.05. Let's try 2.258 plus 64. Let's go ahead and line up our numbers and our decimal. So 2.258, and I'm going to add plus 64.58. I'm going to go ahead and fill in my gap right here, add my imaginary 0 here. And if you want, you can add your imaginary 0 here too. So now let's go ahead and add. 8 plus 0 is 8. 5 plus 8 is 13. Write my 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. Decimal plus decimal is decimal. And then you have 2 plus 4 is 6. And then 0 plus 6 is going to be 6. So your final answer is 66.838. And remember, if I changed it and wrote the 64.58 on top, and then my 2.258 at the bottom, you will still get the same answer. Imaginary 0 here. 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. Write my 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. Decimal, decimal, decimal. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then you have your 6 plus your imaginary 0 here is also 6. All right, so you still get the same thing. Remember that. Let's try one more example. Let's try 8.573 plus 2.2 plus 17.01. So let's go ahead and line up our decimal and our numbers. So 8.573 plus 2.2, lining it up, plus 17.01. Let's go ahead and fill in the gap. So I can put a 0 here, I can add another 0 here, add a 0 here, and if you want, you can add imaginary zeros here, but you do not have to. So now let's go ahead and add. 3 plus 0 plus 0 is 3. 7 plus 0 plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 0 is 7. Decimal plus decimal plus decimal, add that decimal. And then you have 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. Write your 7, carry the 1. And then you have 1 plus 0 plus 0, that's 1. And 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So your final answer is 27.783. So that is all we have for today, guys. Remember, when you are adding decimals, to line up your decimal point and your numbers. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.